At the very end of section 23.4 in the OpenStax text, I hope you will take the time to do this. Remember, we call these things. So this click and explore thing will tell you more about the Treaty of Versailles and particularly how it led to Hitler's rise to power. That in many ways, when the Allies chose to turn their back on Wilson's call for a just peace and exchange that for vengeance, the destabilizing effects that had on Germany paved the way to a strong man and a villain like Hitler to take power. Section 23.5 of the OpenStax textbook will talk about the aftermath of World War II, of World War I, and what's going on at home. There's some economic troubles. There's economic troubles at first. The economy had grown during the war, but now there's some economic trouble as men are coming back to the factories, but it takes time. Many of the factories that had previously made cars and other necessary goods for day-to-day life in peacetime had been making weapons. And it takes some time to transition out of weapons manufacture and back into making ping pong balls and the twisty ties that close your bag of bread or whatever they're making. So that leads to shortages of goods for a time, and when supply is down and demand is up, that drives up the price of goods, and you see a near doubling of the cost of living. And you can read all about that in section 23.5. You can also read about, and we'll explore these also with videos, all these people from all these different parts of the world wallowing around together in the mud in the trenches. If a bullet doesn't catch you, a germ is likely to do so. And there is a massive flu pandemic in 1918, the Spanish flu. This is no 15 days to flatten the curve. This is absolutely crippling and devastating, and you can see more about that, read more about it in the OpenStax text. All these topics are discussed in 23.5, and you can see more about it in the next video in the playlist. After that, more racial tension, more racial riots with the black soldiers returning home, culminating in something known as the Red Summer of 1919. Rioting, lynching, killing, violence in the street, and a particularly horrific example of this anti-black violence in 1919 is the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre and destruction of what's known as Black Wall Street, a thriving, affluent black neighborhood where black businesses are destroyed, black homes are destroyed, and black people are massacred in the Black Wall Street Massacre video. This period also sees a beginning of real nervousness over communism. We're a capitalist economy, and we hadn't been very friendly with communist ideas ever since the time of Karl Marx himself in the 1800s. And the communists in the United States were always looked at with some skepticism. But in the wake of the Russian Revolution, where now a major European power has officially become a communist nation, advocating for worldwide revolution. That's one of the tenets of communism, is that capitalism must be overturned wherever wherever it is found. And this begins a panic known as the Red Scare, a panic that leads to loss of freedoms and loss of lives for people. And you can read about that in the Section 23.5 of OpenStax, and see more about it in the Red Scare video in the playlist. And after that, we'll conclude the lesson with John Green's overview of everything we've read and watched and talked about in the Crash Course U.S. History video on America in World War II. So please watch the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos that follow this in the playlist, and that will conclude this lesson.